Hello and welcome to Hixxy Studio. On this video I am going to show you how to make this card, and we are using this lovely die set from Julie Hickey Designs. It's called the Dinky Circles Die Set, and apart from the sentiment, what I've cut the sentiment out with, everything is from there. So the sentiment is from the Floral button stamp set. So I've used a little circle here and the on your special day, which fits inside. Okay, so let's have a look at the die set and what we get in the die set. So there are, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. So obviously we get our flower die, which we're going to use to create our flowers here. We've got this little die. This cuts out a solid circle. That's the pattern paper that I've used there. This one, oh, if I can get it out. This one cuts out this lovely thin edge, but also then you get the solid in the middle, which can still be used for something else. Then there's this one, this lovely one here that cuts out the scallop circle, and it's got this lovely detail in, and can then also be used with the other smaller ones to cut borders. And then we get this very large one here, which cuts this. But again, you could put this one in, and then you'd end up with another sort of border in here, and so on. So you can fiddle around with them and layer them up in all sorts of different ways. So what I want to show you first is the flowers. Now, at home, I would do them with an iron, and I've forgotten my iron. So we can still do them with a heat gun. So I'm using flower forming foam. Oh, bear with me. I need to get back up so I can show you what I'm using. We're using this Craft Artist foam. I've got colours here. And you get, this is the pink and purple selection. So you get the purple, you get this peachy colour. There is, there is this lighter sort of a pinky purple. You've got this dark pink. So what I've used for this is the and fuchsia. There you go. We got them all. We finally got there. So you've got all of those, and I've used the dark pink and the lighter pink for these particular flowers, and I made quite a lot, and I made some purple ones as well, which I will show you in a minute. Now, the thing with using flower forming foam is I can pull this one apart because I've got plenty. Can you see it moves? So you can do some of this with your hand. You can distress sort of the petal edges. When you use it with heat, you need some foam. Now, I've got two things here. This is, sorry, it's a bit messy. I use ink on some of my flowers. When you're using the foam and you're heating it, you want something that's really squidgy that you can push down into to help form your flowers. This one here is what I use, again, very mucky, sorry. It's what I use when I'm doing flowers out of paper or lightweight card. It's not as thick, there's not as much give, because you're trying to break the paper down, the fibres down to move. Here, you're not wanting to break anything down, you're just wanting it to form into a particular shape. So this is the foam, and this is part of the Crafter's Companion flower forming set, and then I think you get the ball tools with it as well. There are 3 different ones. This is the middle one. So we're going to have a go at this with our heat gun. Like I say, at home, I've got a few here just to show you. At home, what I would do is I would have my if you imagine this is the bottom of my iron, I would have my iron set up like that, like you do at the end of your ironing board. And then literally I would put a flower, not with my hands, obviously with a pair of tweezers, a flower against it and hold it with a ball tool here. Sorry, if I show you from above, if you imagine that's the base of the iron, I would put this on and then hold it on with my ball tool, and it would start to move. Now be careful, some flower forming foams are thinner than others, and will not need anywhere near as heat. Some are thicker, so even within the pack you've got a slightly thicker one here with the purple than you have with this pink. So this will take a little bit more heat than this. So just, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to your iron or whatever you're using, and you'll get used to how much heat the things can take. Now I've put a heat resistant mat down. I'm not going to do too much heating. So I'm going to do a similar thing, but I'm going to just hold it down with my ball tool here and give it a blast of heat. So I'm just going to let it heat up first before I put it on. And you will see, I'm hoping, that it does start to move. You see it, not that it's starting to sort of mold itself. Now you don't want to give it enough everything goes too much. So I'm going to take this while it's still warm and put it on my foam, and literally I'm just going to push in with my ball tool like this. Okay, and because it's warm, and I've now, that's the other thing I found with this, very static. I've now, that will hold its shape as it gets colder. Okay, now obviously it's better with an iron because you get more direct heat, literally in contact with the actual foam itself. But you get the idea. Let me just do a couple before they all get too staticky. Goodness me. Right, so let's hold it down with a ball tool. We'll blast the heat. Okay. Oh, you can see that's already started to do it itself then. That's what happens with you get to know the different foams and what they will take. So you see now that's really, really nice, what we call a cup flower. So that one has not cut quite so much because I didn't heat that one as much because I thought it was a little bit what's the word? A little bit thin. So let's try this again. Let's see if we can get this one to do the same. Gone all quiet. There you go. And can you see as I take the heat away, it's starting to want to contract itself. So put it on the foam and give it a really, really nice push in. There we go. That's better. And that will now sit inside of that one. That's how we're going to make them. So yeah, static. I'll just show you with these two bits of foam as well, and then I can show you how I created the flowers, and then we can get on with the rest of the card. So again, let's give it a nice blast of heat. Good blast of heat. And then I'm going to move that away. Woo! And then it like you see, it automatically starts to want to form itself. And that's the point at which you make the decision. Now, you can do this, and I could then, or I could just do individual petals with, with a smaller ball tool, make them do particular things. So it's at this point when it's warm, that you want to do your sort of, forming, pushing it to where you want to go. I'm obviously full of static. And let's just do one of, oh, goodness gracious me. Yeah, that's right, one of these pieces to go with the purple. Then I'll show you how I created the flowers, the insides of the flowers. I'm very aware that I'm heating on my mat here, so I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead because I can feel I've got a bump cut forming on my mat. So that is one reason why you should have your iron. Oh, what a mess I've made of that, but we get the idea. We can always put this one in there. We'll go with that one. Oh, stop with the static. Right, okay. So once you have heated your flowers and formed them, get rid of those. then I use 3D glue gel. So first of all, 3D glue gel in the bottom of the base flower, and then the next flower inside. So let's just do the two like so. I'm just going to grab myself a piece of paper to do this next little bit on, and you'll see why. So to form I'm going to go home with flowers hanging off me. To form the inside of the flower, what I did is I just put a big squeeze of 3D glue gel, and then I've got these little, just these tiny little beads, and I literally just poured them in. Okay, and then just give it a little bit of a pat so that the ones that are going to stick will stick to the glue, and everything else will come off. And there you have your little centre. And while it's still wet, you can kind of manipulate it around to the shape that you want. And then we'll get rid of the beads like so. And then I also, when I was making them, I made some purple ones with some purple. I thought the thing with foam, the flower forming foam, is that you can cut multiple layers in with just these ordinary dies. So you know, sometimes it's if you like making your flowers, it's worth cutting out a lot and then just sitting and making a load of flowers and have them in a box ready for your projects. So that's how I created. I quite like that one. Now I'm wishing I'd done that combination. Never mind. Okay, so that's how I made the flowers. And I already have, because obviously that 3D glue gel needs to dry, I already have lots, so you can see what I mean. I made loads. I made all sorts. I made some ones with purple, but I'm just going to choose 3 for this particular project. And I've also already stamped out the sentiment. So these little dies that I've cut here do not come with the Dinky dies. I just wanted a nice round circle for my sentiment. So we're going to cut the rest of our bits and pieces. So I need, I think I did use that side of the paper. A pair of scissors. So that's going to cut up. My words have just gone. Cut out our little centre mat that we're going to sit our flowers on. We're going to use, I have already cut, I'm hoping, yes, I have already cut the purple one. And the reason is because I need this die. This is the die I would cut the purple one from. I need it with this one to cut the pink, the 2 pink bits. The pink bit here and this pink bit here. So this will cut in one go. So I'm just going to position those and take those down. And then I also need my larger purple outer piece. That's the bit we've already got. So I need this to cut out of this one. So I'm going to put these onto our cutting plate. Now, I am also going to, hopefully if I remember before I take the die out, I want to emboss this one to make sure that we get the detail. I don't want to put too much pressure through the cutting. Oh, look at that. I want to cut onto that one. I like to keep one to cut into and one clean, and then when this one's done, that one becomes your cutting plate, and then you get a new clean one. Okay, so yeah, so that that die, that one that we've used with the pink, has some dots and some stitched effect on it. And we want to be able to see that. So, oh, and it hasn't actually cut. So I'm going to take this because of the, can you see it was right by the edge? I'm not sure that one has either. That's me trying to force too many dies through in one go. I'm hoping this one has. I think that one has, yeah. We won't put that one back through. Let's put this back through because I rammed the plate rather a lot in one go. Well, I didn't really ram the plate. I didn't position it very well, so it was kind of on the edge without much pressure. This time. Right, there we go. See, that one's come out. That's what we need for the outer. And that bit, don't throw it away. It'd be useful for something. I'm not going to run it through again because it's already popped out, but it already has the you can see the embossed or debossed, if you like, dots and stitch effect. So let's just we don't need to run that through again because it's already done the job. Okay, so from that then we get that outer one, we get our little inner one, but we still also get an added bonus of a circle, which we will keep for another project. And let's just put the dies back so that we don't lose any of them. So that's our biggest one. Then our next two. Then that one. This one also has an embossed, detail, and you can just about make, well, you can make it out on the white. It's not so easy to see when it disappears into the quite intricate pattern. Okay, right, so let's grab our card then. And I'm going to start by placing this one, because if I start by placing this and I get it in the wrong place, then this is the one that will look too obvious. So I'm going to want to place that one pretty much centrally. So I'm going to grab my tweezers and my fine tip applicator, and we're going to put glue all the way around here. See, I'm moving the die cut rather than the glue. I'm not sure whether it's that much better, but I'm feeling better about it. So that's the one we're placing first. Okay, there's that one. So the next thing I'm going to place is this one. So let's put our glue on here. Like so. Then now this one that I pre-cut should fit right in there because it's cut from the same die that we used. So again, we'll put our line of glue all the way around and we'll slot that in there. And then this one, let me get the other glue, quicker coverage for this, it's not intricate. There we go. Ooh, I don't know if it rolls. Oh, let's put it up the right way. Oh, look, there's a little bee there. Didn't notice that. I don't think I've ever noticed that in that paper before, actually. It shows what you notice when you start cutting into these big 12x12 papers. Okay, and then we want to put this one down here. Okay, so we'll need tweezers again and our fine tip applicator. Like so. And then that goes here. And our sentiment is just going to sort of sit there. And I'm going to use 3D glue gel for that. Let's just put it a bit. We've got our 3D glue gel on there. And then we're going to add our flowers. And again, 3D glue gel for this because, I mean, you can see from there how it's formed. It's not going anywhere. One kind of there. So because they're so rounded, you're not going to get them to stick with sort of an acrylic or sort of PVA type glue. So 3D glue gel is the way to go. Plus also it means then that you can fiddle around with them to be positioned. In fact, I positioned them quite a way out that time, didn't I? Where you want them. And then we're just going to finish that off because I felt it needs something to balance this. So I'm hoping, yes, I do. Oh, and all my little pots. Some flat back pearl embellishments here. And so we're going to put 5. So where's the middle one going to go? Roughly there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3. 1, 2, 3, and then my little wax pencils there. So quite often I put pearls in a straight line, but because this is all about circles, I put them around this nice sort of little arc shape to mirror the rest of the card. And there we have it. So this is predominantly made using just this die set. The only thing that hasn't come from this die set is this sentiment. The rest, flowers and all the shapes to cut out, it's come from this lovely Dinky die set. Ooh, Dinky circle dies. There are several in there. I think there's Dinky squares, rectangles. I think there might even be hexagons as well. But they are really nice. I don't think I've seen many, or if any, dies that cut out these little edges like that. So they are really quite special. So have a look on the YouTube channel to see what else we've got from Julie Hickey. And thank you for joining me.